If you phoned What's Your Story yesterday afternoon, over 50,000 calls were received, I'm reliably informed, to see if your idea is incorporated in today's programme. To Birmingham and Sylvester. Hello, mate.
Hello, Andy.
How are you?
Fine, fine. Exhausted, but fine.
A nice jacket, may I say?
Yes, yes. Nice T-shirt shirt, too. Well, nice to speak to you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later on in the programme. Hello, and welcome again to What's Your Story? And what a story it has been. Not only the episode that you've written and we're going to do soon, but also the fact is that over 50,000 of you phoned in. And because of that, British Telecom couldn't cope. The whole system kind of broke down. But we did manage to get some of your stories, and we've put them together. And remember, try and phone in again today. And British Telecom are going to work very hard to make sure as many of you can get through today. So phone from John O'Groats in the north of Scotland to Corvac and beyond in Cornwall. Now, the stories. We've had some brilliant stories, and we've had some silly ones. I must say, the silly ones I like quite a lot, really. Here's one from Debbie Friedman, 9. She said that once we go through the door of the brick wall, we find a castle that's made of jelly. Well, we didn't do that because I thought it might take too long to set. And then we've got another one here from Lisa Freeman. She's 9, she's from Greenford, and she says they fall asleep for 24 hours. Well, we thought that may be a trifle boring, you know, 24 watching actors sleep. They'd love to do it, but that'd be too boring. And the last one here is from Ben, age 10, from Sutton Coldfield. He said, Doctor Who did it. Well, I know personally. Doctor Who didn't do it because he told me. And anyway, he can't do it. He's on television at 7:35 on Wednesday. So if you'd like to see him, watch him then. But here's our story. We've put them all together, we've mixed them all up, and this is what we've come up with. The spelling's not improved. And here are the names of those involved in this episode. Now, don't be surprised if only part of your idea has been used, because we wanted to use as many writers as possible in this episode. And for any of you that have just joined us and don't know what's happening, well, I'll tell you what's happening later on in the programme. And now, for the story. Stephen had a phone call from Laura, his cousin, about her father, Miles, who had disappeared. So they decided to go and see him, and they travelled by train to Cornwall. When they got to his secluded cottage, they found it had been ransacked. As they were tidying up the mess, they discovered a tin box. And in that tin box was a glowing stone and a map. While they were looking at this stone that glowed mysteriously, they were interrupted by a stranger whose name was Quince. He said that the map was of a tin mine from nearby, and that he would guide them through it if they gave him the stone. After they'd been down in the mine for some time, they came at last to a brick wall that had been newly built. They could go no further. And here's what happens next.
Well, that's it then. A dead end. We'll have to try and find another way.
I don't understand. Why would anyone put a wall here?
Oh, it's not unusual, miss. Sometimes you get a bit of, what-do-you-call-it, subsidence, and they have to shore it up with a bit of wall-like.
Okay, but that doesn't explain the symbol. It's exactly the same as the one on the map.
Well, whatever it means, we're going to have to find another way. We can't get through there.
Well said, lad.
It's a very strange marking. What is it? Who put it there? Stephen?
What?
Touch the wall.
It's warm. It's getting warmer.
Yes. How?
Well, well.
Oh. That smell. What is it? It's like stinking. Let's get out of here.
Alas, poor devils.
Where's Laura? Laura?
It's my father's jacket.
How do you know? Has it got his name in it?
Yes, it has. It's also got this.
A matching set, you might say.
Yes.
Laura!
Dad?
Yes,
Help me. Find me.
Where?
Find me.
Where do we look?
Seek me in the...
What?
Can we
Laura!
help you in any way?
Boo!
Excuse me.
Think what tell us where you're taking us.
Stranger and stranger. Perhaps they should have turned round. Perhaps they shouldn't have gone through the brick wall. Then they wouldn't be captured by whoever those people are, if they are people. But also then they wouldn't have seen Laura's father's face. And that idea came from two people, from Miss Danielle Boothroyd, age 10, and Mr. Stuart McCabe, age 13. Thank you for those ideas. But they didn't turn back. They went through the brick wall, and that's what most of you wanted them to do. And they got captured and put in some sort of cell. All very odd, and for them, all very frightening.
No! Wait! I'm not doing that again.
Quint? Quint?
Sorry. You must think me very rude. I didn't know I had company. Oh dear. You must think me very ignorant. Do forgive me.
Not at all.
You're Laura, aren't you?
Yes, but how
It's
did...
strange, and I feel as if I know you. Your father often talked about you.
My father? Have you seen him?
Well, it's very confusing. You see, time seems to stand still. It doesn't have any meaning anymore. It's as though... What was I talking about?
Her father.
Oh, was I? Huh. Miles. Splendid fellow.
Do you know where he is?
We were at Oxford together.
Were you?
Look, I'm sorry, but where is this place? And those people, or whatever they are?
Well, what people?
The people who brought us in here. What is this place?
Those people? Well, they are not of this planet, I'm afraid. And this place, well, it's some sort of a cell. We're being held prisoner, you see. I've forgotten why. If I ever did know why. They're not very chatty, as you probably noticed.
This is a joke, isn't it?
A joke?
Yes. It's some sort of strange joke or something, isn't it?
Don't think it's a joke. I must admit, the thought had never struck me before. But no, I think they're deadly serious.
But who are they? And where are we? And where's Quint?
The new prisoners in Sector 7 will need reprogramming. Very well. You know how I feel about it. We have no choice. Our research program must be completed.
Excuse
The
me.
primary objective should be to go back to Carlo. The research program is draining our resources.
Excuse me.
What is the purpose of this mission? Research. That is why we came here. And that is what we should be doing.
But not at the exclusion of all else. Power is getting weaker.
Yes, and unless we can restore it, we can go nowhere.
Excuse me.
You're wasting your time, old flower. Cloth ears. That's what they've got. Cloth ears. It's like talking to a brick wall, I know.
In the meantime, we shall continue with our mission.
But our problem is not being dealt with.
They always go on like this.
Really?
This one. Smarty togs. Always beefing on about research. This one. Miserable-faced beggar if ever I saw one. Always going on about getting back to Clan, whatever that may be. I've never heard of it. It's nowhere near the Pennines.
Really?
Blooming aliens. Who'd have 'em, eh? The name's Eric, by the by.
Oh, Jenkins. Matthias Bartholomew Jenkins. Yes, that's it, that's it. What seems to be their problem?
They've lost the what's-it. The little doobry that powers this crate. See yon plinty thing? Fits in there. Aye. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. All I do know is that they crash-landed. And the little precious what's-it fell out and hasn't been seen since. So they're stuck here. I've been for years.
Years?
Oh, aye. 40-odd to my reckoning. They landed when war first broke out. Aye. I thought it were a doodle bug. I would excuse war service on account of me feet. No, I were out ferreting for rabbits, and all of a sudden, I see this big blinding flash.
That's enough from him. You can reprogram this one if you want. He really gets up my noses.
Excuse me.
Yes.
This stone thing you mislaid.
Lost, you mean?
Oh, if that's the way you want it. It wouldn't happen to be green now, would it?
Why?